What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and today we're doing a little bit of a hybrid. Two games that I'm really enjoying right now are Phantasy Star Online 2 and Anthem. And with Phantasy Star Online 2 coming to the West here in 2020, after a very long time, always hoping and waiting for that day to come, I thought this would be a really good opportunity to talk about both games, because I think Anthem needs to learn from Phantasy Star Online. You can say 2, you can just say Phantasy Star Online in general. Now this video is just going to represent my opinion from playing both of these games, and I really want to know your opinion. Now whether you agree or disagree, sound off in the comments below if you think I'm onto something special or if I'm nuts. I honestly want to know. I think every idea should be on the table. I think all feedback needs to eventually roll up to BioWare. So if you guys haven't provided feedback, I'll include a link in the description for you, so that way if you're interested, you can actually go tell BioWare what you hope Anthem will be. But it's hard not to acknowledge when games do something so right and how that they do those things. And I don't need Anthem to copy Phantasy Star Online 2 verbatim. I'm not advocating for that, but what I want to do, especially if you've never heard of this game, I want to show you some of the systems that they have in place and see how that they could actually fit in the world of Anthem. So I'm curious as to your thoughts, but let's go ahead and dive in, because I think, at least if nothing else, I hopefully hit at the root core of some of the issues I still am hoping that BioWare is able to address in the world of Anthem itself as we move into the theoretical 2.0 relaunch, or however they decide to handle it. So anyway, let's go and dive in. So perhaps one of the common critiques that Anthem still gets today is the question about loot. Have they fixed the loot in Anthem as a looter shooter type game? And while Ice Tide, I think, has made a lot of progress in this area when it obviously comes to requiring your legendaries and more, I still think that obviously more can be done. When you look at the loot system in Anthem, you just kind of break it down for materials, and now you can actually use those materials to actually go and farm up other gear, like legendaries using your Guardian token along with your Embers and more. Well, how does this work in Phantasy Star Online 2? Well, I'm showered with loot all the time. So why does the game throw me that much loot? And it all comes into the concept of actually grinding out those items. You can add abilities to your gear. So when you think of the inscription system, you have the opportunity, and it doesn't always work, and that's kind of where the RNG comes in after the fact. You can try to add and infuse them with different drops. Typically what I end up seeing on Reddit and on Twitter is people tweeting out or posting, "Oh my god, my god roll. I got the rolls that are just so unbelievably good. This is amazing." And it's rare, and that's great, but it'd be really cool for players who put in time actually grinding, which I think it's funny that in VSO it's called grinding, to level up those gear. So what does that mean? Like, they shower you with stuff. What are you going to do with that? And it's all about having this after currency, like this process from that fact. So I can select a weapon, and then I can go and infuse it with multiple pieces of gear. And then I can take that gear and it upgrades. You can see some of the gear that I've already selected here has a +1 or a +4. This means that I have grinded it up. And you can go up to, in this game, +30, which increases its stats, which increases its rarity, which increases everything about it, which is so phenomenally interesting. And that's actually, I think, one of the things that it would be so great to see within the world of Anthem as well. Imagine getting that blue or that purple or that masterwork or even that legendary, and being able to infuse it with stuff to make it even better for your build. Obviously there's a chance of failure, and then the game offers you ways of trying to offset that chance, make odds fall into your favor. And obviously doing the first starting grinding stuff, if I just kind of pick on this and just kind of grab, let's just grab these 2 items here. You can see it actually in work, and now I've gone from a 0 to a +10 piece of gear by just grinding it up. And there are various, like, walls and things that you have to get over and hurdles within the game. So now I have a new +10. What that does is it gives me reason to continue to go back out there and farm. It gives me reason to continue to go out there and fight to build out something really, really cool. And what's really neat is that I would love to see it within Anthem. You then would have the chance to upgrade its rarity. Imagine taking a blue to a purple to a masterwork, and a masterwork to a legendary. In my mind, obviously this would require lots of farming, but that's what a looter shooter should be. It should feed you tons of things and then also give you lots of options of things to do with those tons of things. But beyond actually just upgrading your gear, one of the things, and I know this is actually a long shot because I really like this system. In PSO, you have a system called Mag. This is a little robot pet in which that you can feed it specific items. Imagine that plus 10 that I just got. I can go ahead and just toss that in, and now he's even stronger. Feeding your Mag with certain items will increase certain stats and even have a chance to decrease certain stats, and it's going to level up overall. You can see here within PSO, and I don't know how they would actually kind of fit this into Anthem, you get auto attack actions, trigger actions, and obviously ways that modify your own stats. This is exciting. So as a player, do I take this item and use it to upgrade this piece of gear, or do I have to feed it to something else? Giving me a choice, giving me more things to do. Maybe I don't want to use that item for grinding. Maybe I want to feed my Mag and vice versa. Again, I don't need them to copy this system verbatim, but it's really exciting to see all the different possibilities when it comes to that of the looter. And that's a lot of what PSO does. It's an action RPG, but it's more that I actually have things to do with that loot. There's no piece of loot that I don't want to take. Every drop should have some value. It could be a very small amount of value or a very large amount of value, but when you see those things drop, blue, they could even bring back the greens as a part of just playing the game naturally. For those of you who might not be aware, originally greens would drop and people would get frustrated because you felt like a green was taking up that legendary drop chance that you had, and so eventually they removed them because also there was a color issue in which that it almost looked like you had a legendary drop, which could be ultimately very unsatisfying when you're like, did that yellow just drop? Oh no, it was green. Another thing players have been really clamoring for in Anthem is statistics. Let me know what my stats are. Let me know what my life is, my armor is, my attack is, my defense is. Let me know, because there are a lot of inscriptions, especially within Anthem. We really don't know what my total value of harvesting is, what my total value for my overall gear attack is. Those things matter, and we really have a hard time with it. We've been asking for that pretty much since day one. So hopefully that's something we get. But one of the things I really appreciate about, with PSO is the amount of stats that they give you. They don't hold back. You can see even just what certain effects that are on me. Now, when I go and launch a mission in Anthem, I am given the choice of I have to kind of craft up or use an item for every mission. Within PSO, though, those buffs have timers on them. They're going to last for a certain effect of time rather than by mission to mission, and this makes crafting within the game way more valuable. This makes these items to use way more valuable because they're not sitting here. I'm not being punished mission to mission. If that mission was quick or long, that gives them, I think, the ability to bring in more different types of effects that you can use and to craft up. And this kind of goes into my next piece. Anthem's structure between missions seems a little bit off, and I know while they added the ultimate lobby system, it's really handy to see within PSO, between missions, you can either continue to go and do more missions, or you're in the social area. People can show off their various gear that they have. That actually is one of the things that derives the acquisition. Like, how did you get that piece of gear? Where did you get that gun? Oh my gosh, like your javelin looks so cool. And that's one of the strengths of Anthem, is that they really do have this incredible system for crafting up your own looks. But that needs to be kind of shown off outside of Twitter and Reddit, especially Reddit. Like, that's where you have to go. People go in posts like, hey, check out, I built this kind of, this javelin to look like X. It would be really cool to see that. You need that social system, that social design in this game. I think it's a long shot to ask for player trading, but when we talk about crafting items and buffs, as well as drops, harvesting, and all the different ways that you can farm up different things in the game, ultimately that is my wish. I love player trading. I know that they are always afraid of, like, hey, a new player comes in a couple of months down the road and an experienced vet just like dumps all the coolest stuff onto them. I think to counteract that, you limit to who can equip what. But overall, like, it's a social game, and the structure of going from a mission into a single player first person kind of walking around simulator back into this javelin robot suit, ultimately I don't think that it came together as well as they were hoping. Ultimately, I think what we'll end up seeing is that the Bastion, the free play area, like all of that should be that social hub. You should see javelins flying around on missions, doing various different things, being able to show off, help out with world events, and more. But it shouldn't be like the sense that you don't get to really see people. The party size limit of 4 people is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you go and you look at the world, it's huge, and just 4 people flying around. You jump into free play, you go do your thing, and you leave. Free play is this weird thing that I don't think that's probably what they hopefully envisioned for it. So hopefully we can see them bring in the social hub aspect more than just the one single room that they have currently. We'll have to wait and see ultimately, but I think that would be something that would breathe a lot of life into it. Just in Phantasy Star Online 2, as I walk around the lobby, it's so cool to see different players, also in NPCs, doing different things. I can talk to the NPCs, I've got people in quests that they have things they want me to do and farm up. They have a system called client orders. This is like a little sub-quest system where you see these icons over people's heads. They just want you to do various different things. It might be kill something, it might be bring me back something. These are just things that you can kind of fill your day with as a part of just your daily challenges. In Anthem, we've got contracts. It'd be great to see that evolve beyond like a story-driven quest into various things that, hey, while you're doing the other things you're doing, while you're doing your quest, while you're doing your stronghold, turns out like, hey, pick these things up for me, please, and I'm going to reward you. Experience, all kinds of currency and more, and I think that would be ultimately bringing in more of the RPG aspect that Anthem kind of teases around with. Again, like if we got the stats, if we got the loot fixed, if we got our gear stats and builds all kind of brought together, if we had more things to do with those drops, that would be really cool. And finally, like I said, player trading, obviously a long shot, but for me, being able to craft up items, to be able to sell those items, that would be really interesting. The risk or the concern here is that obviously, how do they monetize the game? Right now they're saying all updates are free, and they're trying to monetize off of a premium currency. Thus, they make the currency that you need to purchase those things in the game pretty rare. And if you were offering player trading, I'm sure we would want to trade with coin. I'm sure I'd like to be able to purchase an insane amount of crafting materials if I'm such a crafter, and the way to do that would be with coin, and then the way I would sell my wares would probably be with coin as well. Otherwise, you have a weird bartering system that would have to be in place. So I don't know if people would want Anthem to have that crafting aspect and player trading, and that's why I turn the question over to you. What of anything that I've shared here stands out to you as something interesting? What do you want to see? Are you still currently playing the game, or are you waiting for that theoretical 2.0? We've been told that it's coming. We've been told by multiple sources that it's coming. We don't have a date. We don't know what it is. It could still even be a year away. But they're still going to keep improving the game. I think Icetide was a step in the right direction. We're just going to have to wait and see from here. This is my feedback and the feedback that I've actually provided the devs. Again, I'll include a link in the description below if you guys want to go and provide them some of your feedback, if you want to add on to mine. But regardless of all that, I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with you. But for Ginger Prime, my name is Brian. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have the best day ever, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.